Hey there! Leap into an inspiring family tale that'll hook you from the first word and keep you glued till the end. Watch every moment of this heart-wrenching journey of redemption. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that spark change and bring loved ones closer. In the opulent glow of Manhattan's Ridge View restaurant, where crystal chandeliers dangled like diamonds and entrees cost fortunes, a 75-year-old man shuffled through the door, his simple clothes and cane drawing sneers from the elite crowd. Frank paused, heart racing, as he spotted his son Ryan at a prime table with two wealthy pals, Ralph and Edward, their laughter slicing the air like knives. This was no ordinary night. It was Frank's ultimate test of fatherhood, disguised as a frail elder to uncover the truth about the boy he'd raised into a spoiled heir. Ryan, heir to a $50 million sandwich empire built from Frank's humble cart days, rose dramatically, pointing and bellowing, "Get out of the way, you useless old man." His friends erupted. Ralph, the construction mogul's son, slapped the table in hysterics, while Edward filmed the spectacle for his social media empire, narrating, "Grandpa lost in the rich folks' den. Subscribe for more laughs." The room of 40 patrons watched in silence, their wealth forming an invisible shield around the trio's cruelty. Brooke, Ryan's glamorous girlfriend, whispered a half-hearted protest but stayed silent, her loyalty tied to luxury gifts and first-class trips. Frank absorbed every jab like poison, remembering Ralph as a polite child during business visits, now rotten beneath the veneer. Edward zoomed in, mocking Alzheimer's as hilarious, while comments flooded his live stream with jeers and demands for more humiliation. The maitre d', Joseph, approached nervously, unrecognized by the man he'd revered for years, urging Frank out to avoid scandal. Frank played the confused senior flawlessly, murmuring for a glass of water and mentioning a fictional granddaughter, but Ryan escalated, tossing a $100 bill at his feet like scraps to a dog. "Pick it up and vanish from important people," he commanded, as Ralph and Edward cheered, views skyrocketing to 100,000. The entire restaurant stared, some uncomfortable but none intervening, money bred impunity. Frank bent slowly, agony piercing his soul, not from age but heartbreak, slipping the bill into his pocket with a quivering, "Thank you, sir. God bless you." As he shuffled out, Ryan's imperial point sealed the expulsion, his friends toasting the victory amid clinking champagne. 3 blocks away, Frank shed the disguise in his Mercedes, transforming back into the tycoon, but inside, he was shattered. He called his lawyer, Albert Mendez, ordering Ryan's disinheritance. Every dollar, property, and share redirected to a senior refuge and a minimum wage delivery job at the company. "Ryan died to me tonight," Frank declared coldly, envisioning a haven for the abandoned, inspired by the cruelty he'd endured. The next morning, Ryan stormed into Frank's lavish office, slamming papers, hung over and furious. "What is this? You can't disinherit me." Frank rose, eyes wet but voice steel. "Last night, you humiliated an old man for sport. That was me, testing your heart." Ryan paled, collapsing as silence thundered. Frank recounted his own past humiliations, poverty, prejudice, building an empire to raise a man of character, only to see Ryan become the arrogant oppressor he despised. Mendez explained, "No executive perks, inheritance to charity, a 1-bedroom rental, and a bike delivery role at minimum wage. 6 months to prove you can change," Frank decreed, warning doors would slam shut elsewhere due to his influence. Ryan's phone rang. Ralph and Edward distanced themselves upon hearing he was broke, their friendship evaporating like mist. Brooke followed suit, reevaluating over finances. Escorted out by security, Ryan faced his barren apartment, hunger gnawing without delivery money or cooking skills, the image of the old man picking up the bill haunting him as his own father's face. Monday dawned brutally at the depot, Supervisor Mark barking, "Wake up, princess," amid mocking riders. Ryan donned the rough yellow uniform, staring at his transformed reflection, an invisible worker. Mark assigned the worst bike and toughest route, relishing payback for past arrogance. Pedaling into traffic chaos, Ryan struggled. Wrong turns, steep hills, broken elevators, rude customers slamming doors without tips. Rain soaked him, kids jeered, a Ferrari driver sneered. The contempt he'd once dished out now stung. By shift's end, only 22 deliveries, far below target, earning Mark's scorn. Exhausted, he ate stale bread, feeling real fatigue for the first time. Weeks blurred into grueling shifts. Muscles hardened, calluses formed, night routes through dangerous alleys where gangs demanded taxes. He lied about a family to survive a hold-up, handed free meals to starving mothers using his pay, helped neighbor Mrs. Constance with medicine for her grandson Gabriel, sacrificing groceries. Compassion bloomed. Stories of riders like John, supporting families on scraps, reshaped him. Hitting 43 deliveries earned reluctant nods. Night shifts deepened lessons in survival. Empathy replacing arrogance. 3 months in, Ryan's bronze tan and compassionate eyes mirrored inner rebirth. Mrs. Constance's home-cooked meals sparked talks of true happiness beyond wealth. Money buys comfort, not peace. Layoffs hit, firing 20, including mentors John and Carlos, sparking Ryan's fury. He called Frank. These aren't numbers, they're people. Frank visited the sparse apartment, shocked, then listened to Ryan's tales of sacrifice. Tears fell as Frank admitted tracking progress. Free meals, neighbor aid, earned respect. You've changed, he conceded, canceling layoffs, promoting John. Ryan passed the test, embracing in reconciliation. But Frank revealed more. Stephen Montrose, an 80-year-old reformed tycoon who'd lost everything to cruelty, planned the disguise after Frank sought help. Stephen, witnessing the restaurant horror and Ryan's transformation, proposed expanding the senior refuge into New Dawn, a community with homes, gardens, workshops, clinics for reintegration. Ryan dove in, blending rider grit with organization. Construction on 50 acres yielded dignified homes, trades training, a thriving bakery and garden. Credibility from his struggles connected him to residents like Ms. Lucy, earning new lives through work. 2 years on, 400 families flourished, selling goods regionally. Federal replication in 10 cities made Ryan coordinator, transforming 47,000 lives with 96% stability. He lived modestly in the community, surrounded by purpose. A letter from Ralph, now a carpenter, family reunited after his own fall, closed the circle. You proved people can change. 5 years from that humiliating night, Ryan smiled at kids playing in the square, knowing deepest shame birthed greatest good. From cruel heir to redeemer, he devoted life ensuring no one felt useless, building hope on forgiveness and second chances. Ryan stood in the vibrant heart of New Dawn's first community, now a bustling haven of 400 families, their colorful homes framed by blooming gardens. 5 years had passed since that humiliating night at Ridgeview, where he'd mocked a disguised Frank, his father, shattering their bond. Now, at 38, Ryan was no longer the arrogant heir, but a leader whose calloused hands and warm eyes reflected a soul reborn through struggle. The community thrived, bakery ovens hummed, sewing machines whirred, and children's laughter echoed from a school built on dreams. Yet, as Ryan surveyed the square, a new challenge loomed, testing whether his transformation could withstand pressures threatening to unravel New Dawn's success. The federal push to replicate New Dawn in 10 cities had made Ryan national coordinator, a role demanding he balance expansion with the intimate care that defined the original. He lived modestly in a 2-bedroom home within the community, neighbors like Mrs. Constance and her grandson Gabriel now family. But whispers of trouble reached him. In Chicago's New Dawn, mismanagement risked collapse, funds misallocated, workshops idle, residents losing hope. Ralph Montgomery, once Ryan's cruel friend, now a reformed carpenter there, sent a letter. We're faltering, Ryan. People are slipping back to despair. You saved me once. Help us again. Ryan's heart sank. failure in one community could doom the national model. He called Frank, now 80 but sharp as ever, overseeing the empire from a distance. "Dad, Chicago's in trouble. I need to go fix it." Frank's voice crackled with pride but caution. "Son, you've built hope, but scaling it tests the soul. Don't lose what made New Dawn work." Connection. Ryan arrived in Chicago's New Dawn, a sprawling 30-acre site meant to house 300 families, but struggling with half-finished homes and disgruntled residents. He met Ralph, whose weathered face showed gratitude but strain. "The manager's skimming funds," Ralph confided, pointing to a slick administrator, Victor, whose flashy suits contrasted with the community's ethos. Ryan recognized the type, his old self, chasing profit over purpose. Posing as a volunteer to avoid detection, Ryan worked alongside residents, hauling timber and planting gardens, his rider-honed muscles unfazed. At night, he pored over ledgers with Ralph, uncovering Victor's siphoned thousands. Confronting him risked derailing the project. Exposing corruption could scare federal backers. Ryan confided in Mrs. Constance over a call, her warm voice grounding him. "My boy, truth builds stronger foundations than lies. Show them who you've become." At a community meeting, Ryan revealed himself as coordinator, presenting evidence of Victor's theft to stunned residents. "New Dawn isn't about money. It's about us rebuilding together," he declared, voice steady from years of earning trust. He fired Victor, appointing Ralph as interim manager, his redemption mirroring Ryan's own. Residents rallied, volunteering extra hours to finish homes. Ryan stayed 3 months, pedaling a yellow bike through Chicago's icy streets to deliver supplies, his old delivery days fueling his grit. By spring, Chicago's New Dawn flourished, gardens bloomed, workshops thrived, and 300 families found purpose. Ralph hugged him, tears in his eyes. "You didn't just save this place. You gave me a second chance to be a leader." Back in the original New Dawn, Ryan faced a personal test. Gabriel, now 14, had grown into a bright teen but struggled with school, his confidence shaken by years of hardship. Mrs. Constance worried he'd drop out, her voice trembling. "He's like you were, Ryan, lost, needing purpose." Ryan saw himself in Gabriel's defiance, remembering his own fall. He took Gabriel under his wing, teaching him carpentry in the community workshop, sharing stories of his own mistakes. "I was cruel once, threw money at people like garbage. Your grandma and you showed me what matters, helping others." Gabriel's eyes lit up, his hands steadying with each hammer swing. By summer, he led a youth crew building garden trellises, his pride infectious. Mrs. Constance beamed. "You're family now, Ryan. You saved my boy like you saved me." Frank visited, walking New Dawn streets with Ryan, marveling at the growth. "Son, I thought that night at Ridge View broke us forever. But you turned my pain into this." He gestured to families laughing, workshops buzzing. Ryan confessed his fear. Scaling to 10 cities feels impossible without losing the heart of this place. Frank, eyes gleaming, shared a secret. "Stephen Montrose left you something." He handed Ryan a journal, its pages filled with Stephen's plans for a national network of mentors, former residents training new ones, preserving New Dawn's soul. "He saw you as his legacy," Frank said. Ryan embraced his father, their bond forged anew through shared purpose. Over the next 2 years, Ryan implemented Stephen's vision. He trained mentors like Ms. Lucy, once homeless, now teaching sewing to new residents. New Dawn expanded to 15 cities, housing 60,000 people, each community a beacon of dignity. Ryan's modest home became a hub where Gabriel, now 16, planned a youth program, mentoring kids like himself. One evening, a letter arrived, no return address, just a photo of Edward Castle, Ryan's other Ridgeview friend, now a gym instructor in a New Dawn community in Atlanta. "Ryan, I felt like you did, lost everything to arrogance. Your work gave me a path back. I'm helping kids stay fit, stay alive." "Thank you." Ryan smiled, the trio's cruelty now a distant memory, transformed into acts of restoration. 10 years from that fateful night, Ryan stood at the 20th New Dawn opening, 100,000 lives transformed, 98% stable, working, thriving. He lives simply, his wealth in the community's laughter, not bank accounts. Frank, now 85, walked beside him, slower but proud. You didn't just redeem yourself, son. You build a world where others can too. Gabriel, now a carpentry teacher, joined them, Mrs. Constance at his side. Mr. Ryan, you taught me family isn't blood. It's who you lift up. Ryan looked across the vibrant square. Kids playing, elders gardening, workshops alive, and new true wealth. Not what you hoard, but what you give. This story leaps from a father's heartbreak to a son's redemption, building hope for thousands. Hit subscribe, like if it moved you, and watch till the end for that soul-stirring close.